My name is Jay Schaefer with Hans TMJ Head and Neck Specialty. I've treated thousands of patients over the past 30 years with issues relating to shoulders and above. Specifically today we're going to talk about headaches, chronic headaches. And the biggest factor that's always playing a role with chronic headaches is what we'll call myofascial trigger points. And what these are irritable areas of the muscle from overuse or overactivation. Now, what does that mean exactly? That means that these areas are hyperactive, and traditionally we think we can calm them down through massage or stretching or even electrical dry needling. And I'm here to tell you those things don't work, and you've probably experienced that already yourself. If you've had any success, it's always been short term, but they always come back again. So what we find with these trigger points is that 94% of the people that are experiencing migraines are experiencing neck trigger points. So in the study I've shared with you here, you can see that 95% of patients or individuals that have been suffering from migraines are experiencing trigger points in the neck area, versus 29% of the individuals that aren't experiencing migraines experience trigger points. That's a significant difference. So we know that myofascial trigger points are the specific biggest culprit behind patients experiencing regular headaches. And the second interesting thing we see from the study is the duration and severity of these chronic headaches is directly tied in to the number of trigger points that exist. So the severity and how intense the headaches are related to the amount of myofascial trigger points that are there. We know, again, another certain factor, that these trigger points are the #1 factor relating to chronic headaches. So one of the big problems I find with patients that have had some trigger point treatment in the past, again, I've told you that it's not very successful to do massage or stretching or even electrical dry needling. But the other problem is even when you are getting dry needling, you have to be very specific with the areas that you're hitting to get the results you're looking for. Now we know from this study that 100% of the patients that presented with headaches were experiencing trigger points in their suboccipital region. So I'll show you what that looks like, but we're talking about this suboccipital triangle. So rectus, capitis, we're talking about inferior obliquus. These areas are very hard to get to and very hard to treat because they're in a high-risk area. We've got the foramen magnum or the brain stem in that area. We've got the vertebral artery in these areas. So very sensitive structures that someone has to be really, really trained well to make sure they're not getting these areas involved and hitting only the areas that need treatment. That's easier said than done. We know if 100% of the individuals suffering from headaches and chronic headaches are experiencing trigger points in the suboccipital or base of the skull area, we need to hit it. So you need to have someone highly trained that can avoid these sensitive structures, but making sure to address them is going to be critical. And finally, one last note as it comes to chronic headache sufferers. We know trigger points, muscular or myofascial trigger points, are the biggest culprit that are contributing to headaches, but we also know that two other factors are playing a role, if not others, but two primary ones. Your neck mobility, so how well each segment of your neck is moving. We know that there's a significant loss of neck mobility in headache sufferers. So someone who's trained to work with the joints and mobilize the joints, again, not stretching, as that's pretty non-specific and can actually irritate your symptoms, but we want to go in and actually treat the joints themselves. The second part is that we know forward head posture plays a significant role in chronic headaches. We've seen in studies over and over again that patients presenting with a poor forward head posture are, again, highly prone to increased chronic headaches. I hope that helps. I'm going to go into more detail with some of the trigger point information, but I wanted to send this out to you to, again, help those people suffering from chronic headaches.